At 90 years old, the world looks different. The frantic noise of life, the desperate rush to be somewhere, to be someone, it all softens into a quiet hum. You see, I've spent the better part of a century chasing things. I collected accomplishments like a child collects shiny stones. I remember being a young man looking at the successful elders of my time, thinking, that is what I want. That respect, that power, that life. But now, sitting here in the twilight of my own life, I've made a startling discovery. The shiniest stones were often the most worthless. So many things I was told were the peak of success, the very definition of a life well lived. They feel like dust in my hands now. And I see you out there running the same race I did. I see you sacrificing your peace for prizes that will not matter. That is why I'm speaking to you today, because I want to offer you the one thing I cannot give myself, a chance to learn the lesson sooner. I know the pressure you feel. It's a constant low-level hum in the background of your life. The world screams at you to climb higher, earn more, be more. It's in the advertising you see, the careers your friends choose, the expectations of your family. It tells you your worth is measured by your job title, your bank account, and the approval of others. You believe that if you can just achieve that one thing, that promotion, that income level, that perfect family photo, you'll finally feel content. You'll finally be enough. I believed it too. For 80 long years, I built my life on that shaky foundation. But before you trade another precious day for a hollow victory, I want to share 7 accomplishments that I chased my entire life, only to realize at the end that they meant absolutely nothing. Stay with me, because the truth about what truly builds a happy life is much simpler and much more profound than you have been led to believe. The last one in particular is a lesson I wish I had learned decades ago, for it would have saved me the deepest pain. Accomplishment number 1, the prestigious job title. For 30 years, I was a senior vice president. It was a title that opened doors and earned nods of respect at dinner parties. I remember the weight of the business cards in my pocket, the solid feel of the mahogany desk in my corner office overlooking the city. When I spoke, people listened. I mistook that for influence. I believed that title was the substance of who I was. But now, in the quiet of my evenings, that title is just a word. It's a ghost in an empty room. It doesn't hold my hand. It doesn't share a memory. It doesn't ask me how my day was. I recall a particular evening after closing a deal that secured my final promotion. I came home, buzzing with adrenaline, to a dark, quiet house. My wife and kids were already asleep. I stood in the hallway holding my briefcase, and the silence was deafening. The victory felt completely hollow. I realize now the title was a mask I wore for others, not a truth I lived for myself. The real treasure wasn't the title, but the rare moments of camaraderie with my team in the early days, laughing over a cheap lunch before any of us were important. Ask yourself, is the work you do feeding your soul, or is it just feeding your ego? Don't spend your life climbing a ladder only to find it was leaning against the wrong wall. The respect you truly crave comes from your character, not your business card. Accomplishment number 2, a bank account with more zeros than I could ever spend. I was a child of scarcity. I remember my father's worn-out shoes and the worried look on my mother's face as she balanced the checkbook. So, from a young age, I equated wealth with safety, with happiness. I worked tirelessly, taking on extra projects, missing weekends, always chasing that next level of financial freedom. And I achieved it. I built a fortress of wealth, a number on a statement that was supposed to bring me unshakable peace. But at 90, you learn a simple, profound truth. You can only sleep in one bed at a time. You can only eat one meal at a time. The rest is just a score in a game you don't even realize you're playing. That vast sum represents thousands of family dinners I missed, stories my children told to an empty chair, and moments of quiet connection with my wife that were sacrificed for one more hour at the office. I remember a cheap vacation we took when the kids were small, to a little cabin by a lake. We had very little money. We ate peanut butter sandwiches and swam until our skin wrinkled. The memory of my daughter's laughter as she splashed in that cold water is worth more to me now than my entire stock portfolio. Seek financial security, absolutely. It provides options and reduces stress. But do not seek endless wealth. Know your enough number. The pursuit of security can free you, but the pursuit of riches for their own sake will always, always enslave you. Accomplishment number 3, winning every argument. I was proud of my sharp mind and my quick tongue. In any disagreement, whether with my wife, my children, or my friends, I had to be right. I saw it as a matter of principle, of intellectual honesty. I would calmly and methodically dismantle their logic until they fell silent. I mistook their silence for agreement. I mistook my victory for respect. I can still see my wife's face during an argument we had about something as trivial as the color to paint the living room. She spoke of feelings, of warmth, of what would make our house a home. I spoke of logic, of resale value, of color theory. I backed her into a corner with facts until she finally sighed and said, "Fine, you're right. I won." And for a week, she walked through that living room like a ghost. It took me a lifetime to understand that I had only won her distance. I had traded intimacy for the cold, hollow satisfaction of being correct. When you find yourself in a disagreement with someone you love, pause and ask yourself this: do I want to be right, or do I want to be connected? You can rarely have both in that moment. Choose connection. It's the only victory that matters. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Accomplishment number 4, the perfectly curated public image. In my prime, appearances were everything. We had the perfect Christmas cards, the well-behaved children in matching clothes, the pristine home ready for guests at a moment's notice. We were a portrait of success. I remember the sheer stress of those Christmas card photo shoots, bribing the kids to smile, snapping at my wife to fix a stray hair, all for a single glossy image to send to people we barely knew. But a portrait is not a life. Behind the smiles, we were often too exhausted and stressed from maintaining the facade to genuinely connect. We were so busy performing a happy life that we forgot to simply live one. The real joy wasn't in the perfect dinner parties we hosted. It was in the messy, spontaneous pizza nights on the floor when we were all laughing so hard that milk came out of my son's nose. Those are the moments that were real. The rest was just theater. Embrace the beautiful, messy, imperfect reality of your life. True joy is found in authenticity, not in a performance. Let people see the real you. The ones who matter will love you for it, and the ones who don't matter. Accomplishment number 5, the collection of material possessions. The big house, the luxury German car, the expensive Swiss watches. I saw them as trophies, physical proof that I had made it. I remember the day I drove that new car off the lot. The smell of the leather, the hum of the powerful engine, the admiring glances from other drivers. It felt like I had arrived. Today I live in that same big house. The hallways echo. The rooms are filled with fine furniture that no one sits on. And that car, it sits in the garage, its battery long dead. It's just a machine, a symbol of a value system that was deeply misplaced. It can't tell a story. It can't offer comfort. But you know what can? A memory of my son's first bicycle, cheap and secondhand. The memory of holding the seat as he wobbled, the scraped knees, and the look of pure, triumphant joy on his face when he finally pedaled away on his own. That rusty bicycle holds more value in my heart than the luxury car ever did. Fill your life with experiences, not things. Fill your home with laughter, not with furniture. Memories are the only true currency in the end. Trophies just gather dust. Accomplishment number 6. The tireless hustle for the next promotion. I remember the night I missed my son's final school concert. He had a small solo. He'd practiced for weeks. I had a critical project at work, a deadline that felt like the most important thing in the world. I told myself it was for him, for our family's future. I can still hear the phone call with my wife. "He keeps looking for you in the audience," she said. "I can't, honey. This is too important," I replied. I got the promotion. Today, I cannot for the life of me remember what that project was about. It vanished into the ether of forgotten corporate urgencies. But I can still vividly recall the image my wife described, the empty seat in the auditorium, and the look on my son's face when he realized I wasn't coming. One memory is a ghost, the other is a wound that has never fully healed. Your career is a chapter of your life. Your family, your friendships, and your own well-being are the entire book. Never, ever sacrifice the book for the sake of a single fleeting page. Accomplishment number 7, holding on to grudges as a form of justice. A friend, my business partner Arthur, betrayed me when I was 45. He cost me a great deal of money and, more importantly, my trust. For nearly 50 years, I carried that anger. I cultivated it. I thought my resentment was a shield, a way of punishing him from afar. I told the story of his betrayal to anyone who would listen, reinforcing my own sense of righteousness. That grudge became a part of my identity. Arthur has been gone for over a decade now. I remember the day I heard he had passed. I expected to feel a sense of victory, of final justice. Instead, I felt nothing, just a vast, hollow emptiness where all that burning anger used to be. And in that void, I realized the truth. The only person trapped in that prison of anger was me. The poison I was carefully tending to was only ever hurting myself. I had let one single act of betrayal erase 20 years of a beautiful, creative friendship that came before it. Forgiveness is not about absolving the other person or saying what they did was okay. It's about breaking your own chains. It's about reclaiming the parts of you that bitterness has occupied. It is the final and most important act of self-love. Looking back, these 7 pursuits were all rooted in the same thing, the fear of not being enough. They were all about seeking validation from the outside world. The title, the money, the image, the winning, the possessions, they were all meant to shout to the world, "I matter. Look at me. I am a success." But at 90, you understand that your value was never in question. It was inherent from the day you were born. The true accomplishments are the quiet, unseen moments, the shared laughter that makes your sides ache, the hands you held in a hospital room, the comfort you gave a crying child, the love you shared without expectation, the moments you were truly, fully present. Think of your life not as a resume to be built, but as a garden to be tended. What truly matters is not the size of the garden, but the quality of what you chose to grow there. The flowers of kindness, the strong oaks of family, and the sweet fruits of shared memories. That is the life that matters. That is the life that echoes in eternity. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.